Welcome back to the deep dive. We are heading straight into something, well, something pretty dense today. Dangerous stuff, really. And it ties right into that human fascination with what we've lost, what we don't know. Today, it's all about the untold story, the real secrets behind the Alexandrian Society.
Yeah, and we're peeling back the layers on the big one, the Ptolemaic Royal Library of Alexandria.
Yep.
The myth, the mystery.
Everyone knows the story of the fire, the tragic loss, but the sources we have paint a totally different picture. It's much more cunning.
It really is. Think about the sheer scale over 400,000 papyrus scrolls. We're talking history, mathematics, science, engineering, and, yes, the source is clear on this, magic.
That level of knowledge, concentrated, it's staggering.
Unmatched in the ancient world. The allure is powerful. You get why people are obsessed.
It really makes you question how we think about progress, doesn't it? We tend to see time as this straight line going up, always getting better, more advanced.
Yeah, technology marches on, that kind of thing.
Yeah. But when you realize just how much was gathered in Alexandria and then it just vanished, it makes history feel less like a straight line and more cyclical. Like things ebb and flow, we gain knowledge, then boom, devastating loss.
And this material suggests that sometimes knowledge doesn't just get lost. It has to actively go into hiding to survive.
Which brings us right to the massive twist here.
The big one. The library didn't just tragically burn down in some accident or invasion. No, the ancient caretakers. They orchestrated its collapse.
Wow.
The phrase uses it burned down to save itself. A strategic disappearance. Almost like something out of Sherlock Holmes.
A fake death.
Yeah.
Staged to make sure it could come back later. But why?
Yeah.
Why go to such extremes? Couldn't they just, I don't know, move the scrolls?
It was about the long game. Radical foresight. I saw figures like Julius Caesar rising, saw the patterns.
Patterns of empire building.
Exactly. And they believe these kinds of power grabs, these empires, built on what they called subjugation, desperation, and ignorance. Well, they believed that was a perpetual cycle.
So any public library, any big known collection would eventually fall into the wrong hands. Tyrants, maybe just incompetence.
Who'd weaponize the knowledge, or maybe just neglect it into dust. So the caretakers made a choice.
Better to hide it, make it invisible, than let it be corrupted or destroyed.
Precisely. They scattered the archives, maintained secrecy for, over 2,000 years, built this hidden network.
And this connects to the other great lost libraries, doesn't it? Babylon, Carthage.
Constantinople, yeah. The Islamic Golden Age libraries, Asian collections. These weren't necessarily random losses either. They were nodes, caches, parts of this larger migrating Alexandrian archive.
Wow, so it never truly died, it just changed shape, went underground.
Exactly, and this secret organization kept nurturing it, growing it, through the centuries, which leads us pretty much to today.
And that's our mission for this deep dive. We're digging into the modern version of the Alexandrian Society. We'll look at how it works now and focus on the 6 candidates chosen for the latest initiation.
An initiation that offers, unbelievable power and privilege.
But comes with a responsibility, a cost that is genuinely lethal. Okay, let's get into the nuts and bolts of this modern society, because it's not like joining a club or a university, is it? It's intense.
Oh, definitely not. It's a high-stakes system designed not just to protect knowledge, but to grow it, apply it. Globally.
And the way they recruit, it's incredibly patient.
Yeah. Every 10 years, a new class of potential initiates, they call them medeians, gets picked, plucked out of their normal lives.
And then it's a full year of just total immersion.
Total. The sources say they're forced to live, eat, sleep, and breathe the archives.
Yeah.
Nothing else matters.
And the payoff. If you're one of the 5 who make it through, it's huge.
Astronomical. We're talking generational wealth, real power, prestige, careers just handed to you. Political leaders, CEOs, laureates, Alexandrians end up as these silent movers and shakers. Engineered influence, really.
Wow. And who guides them into this world?
That would be Dalton Ellery. He's a median himself, highly skilled, went through the initiation in the previous class.
So he knows the ropes.
He knows the ropes. And he chose this path, even though he could have cashed out in the mortal world. He believed the society offered something more. Eternal glory, wisdom beyond measure.
He sets the tone, then.
He does. He tells the new recruits straight up, your old self, it has to be destroyed. You get rebuilt, hidden in the shadows. He's the shepherd, basically.
Leading them towards, we'll get to the darker side of that metaphor later, but the selection process itself shows the society's thinking right. They don't just pick anyone.
No, it's very specific. They're looking for a rare combination, a balance of skills, physical magic, cognitive, sensory. Yeah. They need 6 people whose powers cover the whole spectrum of reality when combined.
A complete set. So let's meet this particular group. Who did they bring together this time?
Okay, starting with the physical side. These are the ones who manipulate elements, force, alter physical stuff. And that brings us to, well, a very volatile pair. Libby Rhodes and Nico de Verona.
Ah, the rivals.
The ultimate rivals. Exceptionally rare talents, apparently so powerful they were stuck in every advanced class together for 4 years, which, just fueled this intense, very public dislike.
Co-valedictorians, too.
Yeah.
So perfectly matched in power, but completely different styles.
Totally. Nico. The source describes him as having good genetics and more confidence than any human man deserved. He's arrogant, very precise, aggressive.
And Libby.
Libby's known for her temper.
Yeah.
Raw force. Allegedly set Nico on fire the first time they met.
Okay, so the society knew about this antagonism.
Oh, absolutely. They put them together deliberately. They suspect that rivalry itself creates a kind of energy they can use. They're the twin engines, the push and pull of physical magic.
Interesting. Who's next?
Then there's Reina. She's the naturalist. Power over life, plants.
What does that look like?
Sources mention her making branches sprout from a table instantly, making vines bear fruit incredibly fast. It's immense power, but she sees it as a curse.
Draining. A curse.
It takes a huge toll on her. She's very self-contained, cynical. Only reason she's there, access to the archives. She wants to find a way to control her power, maybe even get rid of it. She's the conservation side of things.
Got it. Moving to the mind-benders.
Right. Callum. He's the manipulist, or a vigorous empath. Specializes in deep hypnosis, making people see things, feel things, altering their sensory reality.
Doranies.
He works for his family's huge media and beauty company, which, these sources note, is built entirely on magical illusion.
Wow, so he's surrounded by fakery.
And defined by it. Extreme wealth, privilege, but here's the kicker. Zero ambition. He says he's just looking for entertainment.
Which makes him potentially the most dangerous one there. Boredom and power, not a good mix.
Definitely not. Then, Parisa, pure cognizant specialist, a telepath.
Reading minds?
Extremely well, even heavily guarded ones. She came from top schools, École Magique de Paris, Tehran, and her focus, pure self-interest, leverage.
She sees knowledge as ammo.
Exactly. Constantly calculating, looking for weaknesses, ways to use information against people. She's like the group's internal surveillance system.
Okay, that's 5. Who's the last one?
Tristan. His background is illusion, but his real power is sensory, and it's profound. He sees through illusion, sees the fundamental structure of reality.
Sees through everything.
Atlas, the caretaker, hence his power touches space, time, and thought. But Tristan, he's unimpressed, surly. Comes from a background tied to magical crime syndicates.
So he's used to magic being like tricks and scams.
Pretty much. Sleight of hand, not this grand philosophy. He's the quiet one, the wild card. The human lie detector the society seemed to desperately need.
So if you put them all together, 2 force specialists, 1 life conservation, 1 controlling thought, 1 reading thought, and 1 seeing the truth beneath it all.
You get the society's strategy. It's a complete contained ecosystem designed for control.
So Dalton gathers these 6 intense individuals and brings them to the initiation house. Describe the place.
It's this stately British country manor. H-shaped, sources say. Mix of old Tudor brick, Italian style. Opulent, but dark. Lots of evergreens. Deep wine colors in the decor. It feels heavy.
More fortress than home.
Definitely. Beautifully warded, too. That's key.
Right. Dalton shows them around the painted room or their meeting spot. But he makes a crucial distinction about the archives, doesn't he?
Absolutely critical. The scrolls, the real knowledge they're all after, housed completely separately. Behind wards so ancient, so powerful, that even Atlas, the current caretaker, can't just walk in.
That's fascinating. Anti-tyranny built right into the structure. Even the leader doesn't get total access.
It's a core principle, refusing to let one person hold all the keys.
And Atlas himself shows up pretty quickly after they arrive.
Yep, shows up to give the first lesson, which is immediately followed by the first test. He revealed this tradition they call the installation.
The installation. Sounds ominous.
It is a bit. It's an engineered crisis. The society deliberately leaks the date the new class arrives to their enemies.
Leaks it. On purpose. Why?
2 main reasons, according to Atlas. First, it stress tests the society's own defenses, those ancient enchantments, against whatever new threats the modern world has cooked up. Keeps them sharp.
And the second reason?
It's about the candidates.
Yeah.
Puts them under immediate pressure.
Yeah.
See how they react, how they work together, or if they fall apart.
A trial by fire, literally from day one. And Atlas frames this with a warning, right? Something about knowledge itself.
Yeah, a really profound one. Sums up the society's whole caution. He says, the problem with knowledge is its inexhaustible craving. The more of it you have, the less you feel you know.
Huh.
Thus, he says, men often go mad in search of it. The implication is clear. Knowledge is addictive, dangerous, fundamentally destabilizing if you're not careful.
And who answers the call? Who attacks during this installation? We're not talking goblins here.
No, definitely not. This shows the level they operate at. The attackers, specialized operatives from MI6, the CIA, Beijing intelligence, plus corporate mercenaries, Wessex Corps.
Wow. So real-world intelligence agencies are actively trying to get at the society's secrets.
High-level, global, magical espionage. They're fighting the big players who want what they have.
Okay, so let's break down that fight, because it really shows how those 6 specialties were meant to work together. Nico and Reina, the Force duo, they took on a military task force.
Yeah, they were the heavy hitters, complementary styles of destruction.
Yeah.
Nico was all precision, using his force power like targeted electrocution, precise strikes, moving incredibly fast.
Surgical.
Almost. And the sources note he even used his power internally, clotting his own blood instantly after getting hit by a bullet. Immediate physical self-alteration.
Damn. And Reina.
Pure brute force, hand-to-hand, moving like a raging bull, the text says. Just heavy, devastating blows, taking out soldiers left and right. They were the battering ram, basically.
Okay, battering ram handled. Meanwhile, Libby and Tristan had a different kind of problem.
Yeah, much trickier. A world-class illusionist plus a combat partner.
Yeah.
And this is where Tristan's unique sight became essential. Libby, relying on her raw power, she initially attacked a phantom, fired off this blast of energy, missed completely, almost took out an antique Edwardian lamp instead.
Whoops!
Big whoops. But Tristan, he saw right through it. Instantly. Didn't just see that it was an illusion, he saw the structure of the illusion, pinpointed the actual attacker hiding within it.
He acted like a spotter.
Exactly. He guided Libby, she refocused and then just unleashed. Mass combustion. Incinerated the illusionist and his partner, who, by the way, were apparently known war criminals.
So Tristan's ability to see reality saved the day there. Proved why they needed him.
Absolutely. Differentiating reality from deception is crucial for them.
And the last pair, Callum and Parisa. Cognitive and influence.
Their work was quick, efficient. Callum, the empath, dealt with a hand-to-hand specialist non-violently, just influenced his mind, his motor skills, neutralized the threat instantly.
Well, fuss, no fuss.
Pretty much. And Parisa, the telepath, she did the cleanup check, swept the house mentally, confirmed all intruders were gone, confirmed the wards were back up and secure. Job done.
So it wasn't really pass-fail, it was a demonstration. They survived, showed their utility.
And learned a harsh lesson. The outside world wants what they have badly. And safety, never guaranteed. The installation worked forced cooperation under lethal pressure.
So after that, rather violent welcome party, things settled into the academic year. But academic feels like the wrong word. It was extreme.
Oh yeah, uninhibited research, pushing boundaries way past normal magic and science, focused on 3 huge themes: space, time, and thought. This is where you really see the society's power flexing.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's start with space. That fell to Nico and Libby, the rivals. Makes sense, with their physical force specialty.
Right, they aimed high, manipulating physical reality itself, specifically wormholes.
Actual wormholes, like in sci-fi.
Or small ones.
Yeah.
Sources say it took weeks of research, heavy calculations, a whole day just pouring energy into the casting.
And they did it.
They did. Successfully created a tiny, stable space bridge, connected a corridor in the West Wing directly to the kitchen.
To the kitchen, seriously.
Which Nico, naturally, immediately started using to grab snacks.
Of course he did. But the implication, that's enormous.
Profound. Libby realized it instantly. By stabilizing even that tiny warp, they'd basically proven a major chunk of quantum theory. Space-time manipulation wasn't just theory anymore.
It was just a matter of scale.
Exactly. A matter of power input. Libby theorized if you had someone with, like, nuclear energy in their fingertips, as she put it, they could scale this up. Big time.
Portals across continents. Other worlds.
Potentially.
Yeah.
But here's the crucial Alexandrian move. They immediately decided to keep it secret.
Why? That's a world-changing discovery.
Libby's fear was specific. She worried it would be instantly weaponized by the same governments and corporations they'd just fought off. Trigger a second global age of imperialism, run by idiots.
So knowledge containment over deployment. Fear of misuse, that's a recurring theme.
It defines them. Their focus then shifted, interestingly, to time. and Libby teamed up with Tristan for this.
The Force user and the reality seer. Again, the society pairing them deliberately.
Seems likely. They knew their powers might overlap or complement each other. Libby started theorizing. What if time is a force, like gravity?
Things moving backward and forward, that's force acting on existence.
That was her idea. Force, of course, but also, in some respect, time. The trick was how to grab hold of that force, how to influence it.
And Tristan was the key again.
He was the lens. His ability to see the actual structure of time, the quanta, the electrons moving it, gave Libby something to aim at. He could perceive the flow.
So he guides her power.
And using his real-time observations, Libby focused her force, and she did it. She managed to stop time. Momentarily.
Stop time, like freeze frame.
Not quite absolute. The sources describe it as a lag, momentary resistance. Took huge energy, but proved it was possible. Time, like space, could be arrested with enough focused, guided force.
The potential uses: defense, travel, research. Limitless, but again, needs that specific sensory input.
Eats Tristan's unique sight. Meanwhile, Parisa was tackling time from a completely different angle, psychology.
The telepath's approach.
Right. She dove into ancient texts, Islamic Golden Age scholars like Ibn al-Haytham, looking for older concepts of time before modern physics took over.
And what did she find?
A radical reframing. She concluded that time, our experience of it, is fundamentally an illusion of itself, more a product of thought or emotion than some rigid external thing.
Okay, hang on. Time is an illusion. Break that down. What does that mean for something like time travel?
It means it's potentially simple if you travel through one person's perception of time.
Not jumping along a physical timeline, but navigating a mental one.
Exactly. You're maneuvering through a subjective psychological construct. If my brain perceives an hour passing while yours perceives only 10 minutes, we're essentially time traveling relative to each other.
So a telepath could potentially manipulate someone's perception of time, push memories around.
That seems to be the implication. And Parisa took it further. She noticed a link between intelligence and how people experience time. Higher intelligence, she observed, seems to make people experience time faster. They process more, learn more, effectively live more within the same mortal lifespan.
Wow. That shifts time from physics to psychology. It's all about the observer.
Fundamentally. While all this heady stuff was happening, Reina and Dalton were getting back to basics, the essence of magic itself.
Dalton focused on intent, right?
Yeah, drawing from the archives. He argued that the decision to use magic, the act of will, is itself a rupture in the natural order. Magic responds to the user's intent, the purity and focus of it.
Makes sense. But Reina, the naturalist, she had a different concern.
Efficiency, conservation. Because her own power was so draining, remember?
Right.
She's watching magical creatures, non-human ones, and she noticed they channeled magic better than humans.
Yeah.
More precisely.
How does she describe it?
Like their magic was thinner, narrow, spun like thread, not like fumes. Less wasteful than how human medians often just blast energy out.
She thought human magic was inefficient.
Yeah, tainted by academic ego, maybe? Prioritizing big, flashy effects over control. She was digging through the archives, convinced there were secrets to energy conservation hidden there, secrets that could help her manage her own power.
All this research, it's mind-bending. But then Dalton dropped something truly chilling.
The longevity case. Viviana Absalon.
Tell us about her.
Dalton presents her body. 45-year-old woman. Died instantly when hit by a car. Seemed mundane. But the autopsy
Revealed what?
her internal organs had stopped aging around age 21. She was functionally immortal, biologically.
Mortal,
Yeah.
but killed by a car accident.
Exactly. Which raised huge, disturbing questions for the society. Was longevity itself a rare magical specialty they'd missed? Like, her power was avoiding decay.
And the darker question.
If her specialty was avoiding aging, did that somehow make her and others like her more susceptible to random fatal accidents? Was magic just delaying the inevitable?
Or worse, was using magic somehow attracting fate? Proving there's some destiny even incredible power can't dodge.
The sources say they got really unnerved by this, questioning if all their knowledge was just, putting off the unavoidable, not truly conquering death.
So they're grappling with the nature of time, space, life, death, absorbing secrets that could rewrite everything. And then the society drops the other shoe, the horrific cost.
Yeah, the academic wonderland phase ends abruptly. It wasn't just about learning. It was preparation for a sacrifice.
And Parisa, the telepath, figures it out first, using her skills on Dalton.
Exactly. Seducing him, reading him, leveraging the connection. She gets the full, awful truth Atlas confirms it. 5 initiates are chosen.
The
But
one is slaughtered.
not just kicked out, not failed, slaughtered. A ritual
And
sacrifice.
what's the ritual for?
Dolan explains it's ancient, 2 millennia old. It's required to reinforce the binding oaths on the archives themselves. The archives are described as sentient, and they demand blood to maintain their power, their integrity.
The knowledge itself demands a price. A human price.
And Atlas makes it brutally immediate. Tells the candidates they have until the end of the month to choose which one of them gets eliminated.
Suddenly, all that philosophy about time and space,
Yeah.
meaningless, it's pure survival calculation now.
Life or death.
Yeah.
They immediately start sizing each other up. Who's the most expendable, the most dangerous, whose power has the least future potential. The morality just shifts.
And Callum Nova, the manipulator, he knows they're looking at him, doesn't he?
Terrifyingly so. The sources say he was the most dangerous because he knew he was a target, and he'd done something. Built this internal vacuum within the house's wards.
A vacuum.
Like a shield, a pocket of magical insulation that blocked emotion. Parisa couldn't read his feelings properly. He'd made himself functionally numb, impenetrable to her surveillance.
Smart
Yeah.
and deadly. So Parisa tries a different tactic.
Goes after him indirectly. Manipulates Tristan. Tells him Callum made that illusionist kill herself back during the installation. Not out of strategy, just boredom.
Planting the seed, making him seem unstable.
She tells Tristan, his weapon is us. Our beliefs, our weaknesses. Basically arguing Callum is too unpredictable, too dangerous to keep around.
Which leads to that confrontation, Tristan and Callum.
Yeah, a critical moment. Tristan actually pockets a knife, corners Callum. He genuinely considers it, believes Callum might deserve to die for his callousness, the potential threat he poses.
But he can't do it.
He balks, throws the knife away, refuses to become a murderer, even for all that knowledge, all that power.
And Callum's response is chilling.
Ice cold. He says, in the end, we will make the same choice, Tristan. In fact, we have made it already, implying it's futile. Their path is set by the system they entered. Choice is an illusion.
Meanwhile, Libby's making her own cold calculations.
Equally cold, but framed differently. She dismisses the simple ethics of the trolley problem as too context-dependent, but she makes a clear choice based on utility.
Who would she spare?
Tristan. She says she wouldn't kill Tristan because his power, seeing time, seeing reality, retain the most potential for the society's future.
Potential. Utility. That's the new moral compass.
Completely. She even suggests some powers, like precognition, maybe shouldn't exist because they're too destabilizing. The archives, the need to preserve knowledge, has totally shifted her ethics away from saving lives towards preserving utility.
But before they can actually vote, make the choice, it gets taken out of their hands.
Violently, Libby vanishes, and in her room, a body. Looks exactly like her. Horrific puncture wound, blood everywhere.
And the others believe it. Nico certainly does.
Nico loses it. Sees his rival dead, goes into this toxic rage. Everyone initially thinks she's gone, murdered.
But the body, it's not quite right, is it? And Tristan sees it?
Only Tristan. His unique sensory power cuts through the perfect illusion. He examines the body closely. Despite the trauma, the flawless magic, he spots tiny flaws, human inaccuracies.
Like what?
Higher arches on the replica's feet than Livy had. The slope of the shoulders subtly wrong. Missing faint coffee stains she always had on her wrist. Even a birthmark, perfectly replicated but slightly misplaced.
Tiny details only he could perceive.
And he realizes it's not just a standard illusion, it's something more complex.
A
Superposition.
Superposition. Explain that.
He's seeing two equal realities overlaid, competing. The reality where Libby is dead, represented by this perfect replica, and another reality where magic is rapidly dissipating from empty space because the original is gone.
So the body is a placeholder, a temporary, perfect, magical echo.
Exactly. Physically perfect, but fleeting. He understands Libby isn't dead. She's just gone, vanished. And whoever took her, whoever created that perfect superposition, they're operating on a whole other level of magic.
Right.
Libby's disappearance, the fake body, it throws everything into chaos and sends up the final massive betrayal. We finally find out who this invisible player is, the one who created the superposition.
And it's someone close to Libby.
Incredibly close. Her boyfriend, Ezra,
Yeah.
the one everyone thought was mortal.
He was immortal at all.
Far from it. He's a median. And his power. Time travel. But a very specific kind.
How does it work?
He travels through vacancies in time. Uses transitional moments, physical thresholds like doorways, even mental ones like dreams, as conduits.
Wow. And his backstory explains this.
Tragically, yes. As a child, he was caught in a mass shooting. He survived by instinctively looping time, reliving the moment over and over until he found an escape route.
He taught himself to manipulate temporal perception under extreme trauma.
Exactly. Atlas found him, saw this unique ability, and recruited him decades ago, which is why Ezra still looks 21. He's been Atlas's secret weapon, moving through time unnoticed.
And he eventually rescues Libby from wherever she was taken and confesses.
He does. Admits their whole relationship was partly a setup. He was working for Atlas, gathering intel on Libby and the others.
That's brutal. Did he have any real feelings?
He claims so. Says he grew to distrust Atlas, especially his plans for the elimination ritual. Tells Libby, it was real for me too. Most of it, some of it. Cold comfort, really.
But saving Libby wasn't his only goal, was it? He had a bigger plan.
A much bigger, much more destructive plan. He decided the whole system was corrupt, that Atlas was twisting the society's purpose. So his final move, summon the society's enemies.
The ones from the installation?
Against
on MI6, the forum?
Exactly. Summons them all right to the manor. His goal wasn't to take over. It was to burn the whole thing down. Tear the system apart from the outside.
Why? What did he want?
Chaos. Destruction. He tells Libby he wanted power, a little at a time until we break. He saw the society itself as the ultimate prize to be broken, sacrificed to the world's chaos.
So Ezra unleashes hell, but the ritual itself, the initiation, it still happens.
It does. Amidst the chaos Ezra brings, Libby is still missing, maybe eliminated by the attackers, maybe escaped, it's unclear. But the 5 who remain, Nico, Parisa, Tristan, Reina, Callum, they proceed.
They made their calculations, faced the potential sacrifice. They follow through.
They take the vows. Dalton Ellery watches them become fully initiated, tied forever to this life of inseverable alteration.
And Dalton has some final thoughts on this.
Yeah, deep reflections. He recognizes the trap. Power without purpose. He sees that the freedom the society offers, the endless choices, the infinite knowledge, it wasn't meant for human minds. It's too much.
They gained the universe but lost something fundamental.
They trapped themselves.
Yeah.
Locked into a system that demands blood, demands constant vigilance, perpetual change. The archives got their price, and the 5 survivors are now bound to pay it forever.
Wow. Okay, so this deep dive, it's completely flipped the script on Alexandria. Not a tragedy of loss, but a strategic vanishing act, leading to this modern society that can do things we barely imagine, creating wormholes, literally stopping time, seeing reality as this psychological illusion.
But the cost, that's the gut punch. The ritual sacrifice. One brilliant person slaughtered every decade just to keep the sentient archives bound and functioning.
It paints the society as this strange organism almost, something that has to prune itself, sacrifice a part to ensure the whole survives.
Exactly. Dies and rises again, in a way.
And the sources are pretty clear, aren't they? Getting access to that level of knowledge, that kind of truth, it seems to inevitably demand the highest moral price. It forces these brilliant people into impossible choices.
Compromised positions, definitely. They end up prioritizing the knowledge, the archive's future, over individual lives. Utility becomes the only ethic that matters in that context.
It's not really about judging them, is it? It's about understanding the sheer weight of those choices, choosing who has the most potential to serve the archives. Chilling.
Deeply chilling.
So let's bring it back to you, the listener, the learner. If knowledge really is power, and that kind of power demands a permanent human sacrifice to keep existing, what knowledge could possibly be worth that price? What secret would you sacrifice someone to protect? Makes you think, doesn't it?